All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a pep rally day, but I don't want to disappoint my girl Emily back there. Oh my God. People are so cranky. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, friendly reminder that you have a vocab quiz on Monday, 11 through 20. Even though the board's not updated, I'm aware. You have vocab 11 through 20 on Monday. You have Tuesday, 21 through 30. You have a test on Wednesday, 25 questions. Your focus, your study guide, and your outline are due, so it's a totally normal week. Then you're in your final week of AP Psych content. After that, and week 29 is your last week of content. And obviously the week ends and us going spring break. So yeah, Friday is the last day of the quarter. Your tests on Wednesday are your last grades. Friendly reminder, if you would like to participate in the extra credit, I will accept anything that disinfects. Hand soap, sprays, disinfectant. You're not going to find hand sanitizer, so just don't. Go looking for it. But I'll take anything that disinfects. This morning I took 40 items to the front office, and my peers, other teachers, and other administrators throughout the school took a ton of supplies, so we made the school a little bit cleaner. Of course, we know we spread out soap love yesterday, and we'll continue that throughout the next upcoming weeks. So if you would like to participate, it is due by Wednesday. Whenever you bring it in to me, I will record your name. But all of that's going. Please keep in mind, I would really appreciate it. Unlike everyone else, except Margot, I would like to be here as long as I possibly can. So please wash your hands, and if you'd like some Germ-X, help yourself. I got some right in the front. What? Sure. Why not? Yeah, why not? I know, that's gross, because I don't want it back.
It's halfway used. You're going to
halfway used, then we'll put a new one.
I was going to go to the normal room. Like this.
Hi, just go wherever you want and take one. Yes.
Yesterday, someone in the bathroom got yelled at for putting the bathroom pass on in the South Hall bathroom on the little table, and she was like, "You're not allowed to bring bathroom passes into the bathroom anymore."
Thank you, Olivia, for sharing.
Is that true?
I don't even know where South Hall bathroom is. I have no idea where it is.
She got full on yelled at.
Olivia, we're going to move forward if that's okay with you. Dissociative disorders, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I'm so glad we're recording this so far. What do you got, Camden?
I just think it's really funny how the first day that they put soap back in that music hall bathroom, they put up a little sign on how to wash your hands. Exactly. How ridiculous is that?
Well,
we haven't had soap in that bathroom for weeks.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. But your girl's trying to combat this.
Right, the irony in that. Yeah, and now they put up the sign about washing your hands.
Yeah, I was like,
thanks for the soap.
Well, while I was at Wharton, they didn't even have soap dispensers on the wall. There was nothing.
Well, I would rather have soap dispensers in general.
Moving forward into actual content that we will be covering and you will see on the AP exam, maybe not soap dispensing. I would not expect that on May 12th. But on May 12th, you will see dissociative disorders. And what are dissociative disorders? Dissociative disorders are disorders in which there is a break in conscious awareness, memory, and the sense of identity or some combination. That means you are not experiencing a conscious experience. Well, no. I'm expecting every single person in this room is a normal person, as in no one has been diagnosed with these disorders. Okay? So, everyone in this room has a full conscious experience of what they do. A dissociative disorder is when a different part of your brain takes control, and you cannot recall what your brain did.
that's so
Dissociative amnesia is a loss of memory or personal information, either partial or complete. So, the most famous disorder that comes under the dissociative disorder umbrella is dissociative identity disorder, also used to be called multiple personality disorder. We don't call it multiple personality disorder. We call it dissociative identity disorder. So, I'm going to introduce you to a woman who lives in England. She has 9 personalities.
Oh, like Split.
Yes, but that's like a horror movie, and that's just
That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying.
That's
That's
Nah,
a
it's more like he's a superhero.
The second.
I think it's
I didn't think it was that good. I hated the ending.
Moving forward,
There's a second.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Oh my God, 7 period.
What's happening?
My Dylan over here is from AP World. We got a little off topic today, but this is insanity. He must think it's just a complete clown fest in here. Can we maybe pull it together here?
Well, we just want to be honest.
What?
What was it called when you said you cannot recall what your brain did?
Your conscious experience. You can't recall what your brain experienced. I didn't give you a fancy term.
No,
Just
would
for
conscious
amnesia?
be?
Yeah.
Though?
Yeah, your conscious experience.
What you can't. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. When you have dissociative, so say for instance, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you should be putting in your application. If say I have split personalities, okay, we don't use that term anymore, but okay, I have 2 personalities. One that's Samantha Bennett, who is a high school history teacher, and then Zaza, who is just an over-the-top 60-year-old woman who just doesn't give a shit and carries around a glass of wine all the time. Oh my God, this is my spirit animal. And wears fabulous hats and just does Zaza things. I have no idea. This is just off the top of my head. Okay? When I am Zaza, Samantha Bennett has no idea what Zaza does. So if Zaza decides to go to Miami for the weekend, Samantha Bennett, when she's back in control, it's like, where the hell are we? Oh no, we're in Miami.
So this is like Fight Club.
Yes, it is Fight Club. That is dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative amnesia is when one personality is in control, the other personalities do not get updated information. So when the personalities switch back out, they're confused about where they are, what they're doing, and what is happening. That's dissociative amnesia. They are isolated in their own experiences. So, if Sam Bennett is sitting at Plan High School and I'm giving a lesson on dissociative disorders and Zaza comes through, Zaza is going to be like, what am I doing here? Where's the wine? Such a spirit animal. And where's my hat? I don't understand. This isn't what I put on this morning, and would be very confused about what happened. That's dissociative amnesia. What?
So dissociative amnesia, is that part of dissociative
Yes,
identity?
everyone who has dissociative disorders has dissociative amnesia. What?
So that happens with like each personality.
Each personality, as they switch, they're confused about what the other one was doing and what is happening. Like, for instance, when I show you my video clip of my dissociative identity disorder, just put it all in the box, Dylan, please. She's at the Eye of London, and they're, like, in the little, the big, what is it called, the Ferris wheel? The big Ferris wheel in London. Yeah, the London Eye. It's a big Ferris wheel. I'm simply trying to relate here, people. Okay? Anyway, while she's looking at London, she's talking normally, and then her personality switches, and then all of a sudden it's like a 7-year-old kid, and the little boy in a boy's voice, like, "Whoa, where are we?" That's dissociative amnesia, because the little boy in her head does not know, the new personality does not know where she is or what she's doing. What do you got?
How can they be different ages?
Darling, I don't know. It's not on your exam. I go to med school. I don't know. I have no idea. Emerson.
So are the other personalities aware that there's other?
They know of each other, but they don't know what each other are doing.
It's like Split.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's like
Dissociative fugue, ladies and gentlemen, is traveling away from similar surroundings with amnesia for the trip and possible amnesia for personal information. Okay, dissociative fugue is when they don't understand other personalities' information. Like, for instance, one of the ladies you're going to meet today, she has a dissociative identity disorder. Her 7-year-old personality does not know her address. So when her 7-year-old personality takes over her body and goes for a walk to the park and gets lost, guess what? She doesn't know how to get back because it's a 7-year-old brain mindset and doesn't know his address. So she can't even say, hey, do you know where this is? The kid is completely lost. So dissociative fugue is not understanding basic information, which is just crazy. Isn't it wild? Okay, so we used to call it dissociative identity. We now call it dissociative identity disorder. We used to call it multiple personality disorder. We do not call it that anymore. So, what is dissociative identity disorder? It is a disorder occurring when a person seems to have 2 or more distinct personalities within one body. I'm moving it. Don't yell at me. Oh, crap. Okay, you can yell at me now. Just trying to get my girl ready. Alright. Don't do depersonalization. Okay, here we go. Oh, it works better with sound. Her name is Jo. Have you seen Jo? Do you know Jo? Okay, because you said you knew her. Here is Jo. Okay.
Back, baby, come back. Back, baby, come back.
Okay. This is her coming.
I'm filming. We're just having a little boogie. Hello.
Did you see how she's like happily dancing and then she's like, what are we doing? That's dissociative amnesia. That switch is dissociative amnesia. And now that she's back to being a grown woman, she's like,
Had them here when I arrived, having a little party.
God.
Welcome to British Airways London Eye. On your flight
This is Helen. She has an extremely rare condition called dissociative identity disorder, commonly known as multiple personality disorder. When she is Helen, she appears like any other 35-year-old woman.
It's a good birthday surprise. Yeah.
But she has several alter personalities that she can suddenly switch to at any moment.
So, if you could do things. Where are we?
We're on the London Eye. Very high up. Looking at London. Do you know what that is over there?
Big Ben.
Yeah.
And
you hear how her tone changes?
That's right.
Whoa, that was a shock.
And while the other personalities are out, Helen has no idea what they get up to. See a long way, huh?
Yeah.
dissociative amnesia.
Helen hasn't always been like this. I've known her since we were 8. She was one of my best friends for many years, but we lost touch after leaving school. 12 years later, I bumped into her on a train, and I was shocked when she told me she had this strange disorder. This This is me and Helen at my 10th birthday party. She used to stay over at my house and we'd have midnight feasts after my parents had gone to bed. She was popular, intelligent and funny. I thought she had everything going for her. But shortly after she graduated, Helen developed her multiple personalities. Seeing her again after so many years, I couldn't believe how much she'd changed. We decided to make this film to try to uncover the mysteries of Helen's disorder. I wanted to find out what the hell had happened to my old school friend.
This is a blast from the past.
I started hanging out with Helen. Her house looks like one big playroom, and hearing the banana splits made me feel like I was in a time warp. The switching did take a bit of getting used to. Adam was the first of Helen's personalities that I met. The first time he came out was a bit unnerving, but I soon got used to this cute little boy. I knew that there were other personalities, and I never knew what or who to expect when I went round to see her.
I can hear a little voice in my head saying, Mr. William. Oh no.
Mr. William. Hello, William. Yeah.
I mean, look at how she physically changes. Her voice changes.
I remember you from St. Albans.
Do you?
Yes.
What do you remember?
Cozy Corner.
That's right. That's right. I remember Cozy Corner as well.
Cozy Corner.
This was the first time I met William. I was amazed that he reminded me so much of Helen.
Does she know that she has all those personalities?
Tickle, 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 tickle.
When I was 14, I saw a child psychiatrist, and I was always listening to the hymn, Four Faces. And it says, I've got 4 this, 4 that, 4 the other, and I don't know which one's me.
So you got your driving license, Adam?
No. It keeps getting stuck there.
I just really identified with this piece of music, and it's almost with hindsight.
She's going to introduce all of her personalities.
There's William, who's 6, and William loves the Mr. Men. There's Adam, who's 10, who gets upset sometimes because he can't play outside with the other boys and girls. Then there's Alex, who's 5, and Alex shoots at everybody, and he goes. It's quite wearing. After a while, it gets on your nerves. Then there's Brenda, who's, I'm not sure whether she's 13 or 14. She doesn't mince her words. She and another personality of mine, Carl, who's 16, have both harmed me in the past. And there's Jamie and Elizabeth, but they don't appear as often. So that's 7. I've got 7, I've got 7.
Did you hear
and
that
I
she
don't
said
know
that 2
which
of her
one
personalities
is me.
hurt her? So if you saw her arms, she has cuts and stuff on her arms. She was hospitalized because it's a whole like docu-series. Like there's like 4 or 5 episodes that they talk to her about it. And it's essentially they cut her and then she wakes up with bruises she's fallen down flights of stairs while they have been in control and stuff like that. So they like sabotage her and try to hurt her and cut her and put her in terrible situations and dangerous situations and stuff like that.
So all of her are children.
Hmm?
All of her assaulted.
Oh, young, yeah. Well, Mr. William is old. Mr. William. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought he was an old person.
He was a young kid.
There you go. So, dissociative identity disorder. So it is when a person goes in and out of different personalities. You saw how dissociative amnesia, do you feel like you have a better understanding of what that is? Dissociative fugue is the lack of understanding where the actual home person, or Helen in this case, where she lives, her information, while other people are in control of her body, essentially. What do you got?
So does she like have a job? Or
No.
she have a caretaker?
Probably. Or someone who checks in on a probably pretty regular basis. It just depends on how extreme it is when you talk about disorders.
Are there like certain triggers to each?
Well, as you saw, sometimes it's just like she's just talking and she's like, oh, he's coming, here we go, and stuff like that. For every person, it's different. But for her and her documentary and stuff like that, it's mostly they just kind of come and go. Of course, Adam is the one who's usually the one who comes, but, you know, all that. What do we think?
It's interesting. How
It
does
is
she-
super
it's kinda
interesting.
sad.
It is sad. I mean, it's a hard life. I mean, she looks exhausted. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, having all these things going at all these different times is definitely exhausting.
Can she like remember what they said?
No, you can't remember anything. So, like, imagine, like, people, like, you're interacting with people and you're not in control of your body, and then people hold you accountable for it.
How does
Right?
that, like, happen?
It's a super, 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 super rare disorder. It doesn't present itself until its late 20s.
It's scary.
It is scary.
So how do you
So does schizophrenia. Schizophrenia does not present itself until its mid to late 20s, which we'll get to. So you're more of your severe disorders, which is what we're focusing on this week, are going to pop up in your later 20s. Why? Because while you're going through puberty, your brain gets so much extra chemicals and stuff like that that it compensates for any type of misgivings or other components. So by the time you hit your mid to late 20s, all the chemicals have essentially died down, and that's when we start seeing the arrival of your major disorders like schizophrenia, like dissociative identity disorder. Your next of your dissociative disorders is depersonalization disorder. It's a dissociative disorder in which a person feels detached and disconnected from themselves, their bodies, and their surroundings. Now, I will tell you that during pregnancy, 40% of women go through a depersonalization kind of component. I am one of them. I was very excited about this when I read this and was like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not a terrible mother. Or soon-to-be mother. I'm a half mom. I call myself a half mom. No, I'm a half mom.
Basically.
I'm a half mom.
You're a mom, there's a living.
I know, it smashes around. It's so weird. Let me tell you what the depersonalization component is. I know I'm pregnant. Everyone who's ever seen me knows I'm pregnant at this point. I will tell you, I feel like my pregnancy is happening to me, and I'm not, like, living it. Does that make sense? Like, I know there's, like, a little baby smashing around in there. Like, I feel it. It keeps me up, and I'm, like, miserable and uncomfortable and just dreadful. I'm aware I'm pregnant, but I don't feel like I'm pregnant. Like, I forget that I'm pregnant. Like, I will catch myself, like, walking to Publix and stuff like that, because I have a Publix, and, like, I'll see my reflection of, like, this big old belly in the front. I'm like, oh, my God, there's a pregnant person behind me. We should get out of the way. And I turn around, and there's no one there. Because I was the big old belly in the reflection. And I'm like, oh, my God. Depersonalization is when you feel detached from yourself and things are you're experiencing things through a different way. Like, I feel like I'm not experiencing this pregnancy in ways most people do, but it's apparently very common, which makes me feel better. Like, I feel like this pregnancy is happening to me, but I'm not, like, participating in it. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can feel the baby smashing around, I'm aware, but I don't feel like, oh my God, it's my baby, oh, it's my son. I don't feel that yet, which is obvious, which is very normal. Like I said, 40% of mothers or half moms feel this way, and then when the baby's born, then they join and everyone's like, oh my God, my baby, all this stuff. So it's kind of like a depersonalization. So depersonalization disorder is when people feel like their entire lives are not their own. That they are living essentially someone else's life, or that they're essentially watching their life from like a different vantage point. Like when they experience like different components with other people, they don't feel the same. Like they'll go to like hang out with friends and everyone's laughing and they'll laugh, but they're like don't feel like they're really laughing. Like everyone's been to a movie and like you laughed at the movie and you're like, oh, that's funny. But then like when you laugh because you're with your friends and like there's a joke and like it's hilarious, we all understand there's two different laughs. There's like a stage laugh that you laughed at a movie that's funny and you laugh. And then there's like a real genuine laugh that you have when you're with your friends and someone does something stupid. We know those feel different, right? That's essentially what someone with depersonalization feels all the time. That essentially they're getting half of the feelings, half of the emotions all the time. That they're not living their life that they're supposed to. And that is their kind of component. What do you got?
Are there like treatments for depersonalization?
Yeah, there is. There's therapies, but that's all next week, girl. Yeah, depersonalization. I'll tell you, I had a girl a couple years ago who sat in my AP Psych class just like you guys are doing right now. And she was like, Miss Bennett, that's me. And I was like, well, I mean, I could see. Like I just told you, I have depersonalization right now with this pregnancy, which is super normal for me. I've talked to my doctor. I've done research. Like, it's super normal. So don't be like, oh, my God, Miss Bennett's going to be a terrible mom. Like, all this stuff. You know, it's common. Okay. I do forget because I try avoiding looking at it because, like, oh, no, I will not forget that I have a baby. But, like, anyway, I'll cover that next week. See ya.
Wait, is that where we want to happen?
Yeah, she got diagnosed and she had it. She got diagnosed. She had depersonalization disorder, and it allowed her to kind of have a better understanding of why she interacts and stuff like that. And there's definitely treatments and things that she's done. And I saw her actually last year. I had her 3 years ago. Saw her last year. She's doing great. She's in treatment, and she's like has like a super happy, successful life. Like she's doing great. Huh? Yeah, she was like, Mom, I really think I have this. And she's like, can we go talk to someone? And her mom was like, okay. And they went and they did like tons of tests. And they were like, yeah, you got it.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
It's pretty cool. But I mean, how self-aware is that?
I mean,
Lindsay, how are you, my darling? You're okay? You better? Okay, so you know I record my lectures. We didn't really cover that much. We did do deeper, essentially what the person. So your quarter does end next week. So I literally extra week after. So you have some time. I'm not personally working. Okay. Fresh for exam you take.
Olivia,
So.
wait for me. Oh, wait, yeah.
Is that the right thing to do? Thank you. Okay. Let me know what you need, Lindsay.
Here,
Oh, thank you, Hayden. I appreciate that. Oh, I don't want poison. Just cover it. Ooh, walking in Memphis just nice.
Put on my blue suede shoes and boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, just walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Saw the ghost of Elvis on Union Avenue. Followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and I watched him walk right through. Now security, they did not see him. They just hover around his tomb. But there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. When I was walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table. They've got gospel in the air. And Reverend Green, be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. Boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number, and I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, ma'am, I am tonight. Walking in Memphis, was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring
I was trying to be
rain.
Hello. We have an exciting class today because we're doing dissociative disorders today. And I love dissociative disorders. So I'm pretty excited about it. However, I was not expecting as many of you people here. It's Pep Rally Day and Friday.
There are.
There are. Bullshit. Right.